Awesome. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. Tell us your name and where you're from. From the ATL. Well, thank you so much for calling in, Millicent. So, tonight is about, Poets of Atlanta Spotlight, and it's all about, poets, calling in and giving their spoken word, so to speak, and, just telling us after you read your poem, just telling us what it meant to you. So I'm going to give you that opportunity to read your poem. First of all, tell us the name of your poem. Stand in God's presence. Beautiful. We're ready. We're ready. Wow. That's absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. What in the world? The audience is loving it as well. The audience is loving it. So I'm going to kind of put you on the spot now. And so, kind of explain or tell the audience why you wrote that poem. Where did the thought, the umph come from? Mhm. 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 Well, a young lady just asked me earlier in the show, when I read my poem, did it save me? So, did this poem that you just wrote, I mean, that you just read over the air, did it save you? Mhm. Wow. Right, right, right. Wow, wow. So, you mentioned strength, where your strength lies in your poem. So, where does your strength lie? Wow, there it is. There it is. Hmm. And you mentioned that you're growing in Christ. How are you doing that? You're growing in Christ. I hear many people say, I'm growing in Christ. I'm building to be like Christ. So how are you doing that? I mean, I'm asking, not, for me as well, because we're all trying to take this walk. Hmm. 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 Beautiful, beautiful. Now, do you see yourself on a stage or at some point writing a book? And when I say on stage doing spoken word, going to a spot where they actually do spoken word, and you're able to get up there, and new artists, new poets get up and they speak. They tell their story via their poems. So, do you foresee yourself doing that? Hmm. Wow, awesome, awesome. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. Just go online and kind of Google some things, some areas, and just visit them a couple of times just to see how it flows for you, and then go on up there and do your doggone thing. Do your doggone thing. So, what about writing a book? Have you ever thought about writing a book? I got it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, you are an artist, you are a poet, and man, I really appreciate you coming on the show and doing your doggone thing. Never hesitate to listen to us every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. right here on WIGO AM 1570, Atlanta's Incredible Radio. This is the Peace Within Radio Show. Thank you so much for giving us a call. You do the same out here. Look, ladies and gentlemen, that was absolutely marvelous. I mean, wow, wow. And I know many of you out there, you're going through a lot of what the young lady is going through as well. And thank you so much for calling in again. And I wish I'd kept her on the line now because we're getting questions about, her poem. But understand that, you know, it's it's all about what's in you. It's got to be in you. And the question to Millicent is, what? This may be kind of personal. I'm glad she. I don't know if she would want to say this. So, what were your struggles? Is the question to her. Many people have those struggles. I don't know, but my book, I just put it out there. I put what my struggles were out there. Many people want to hide behind a face, some type of face. It could be a smiling face, it can just be an angry face. Some people hide behind a face and they don't want to tell their story. They don't want to either know, they don't want you to know that they have a story. So, I would say, the moment that you realize that you're writing your information down, you're writing your hurt, your pain, your tears down on paper. Once you finish that product, you are free. You are free. It's key to sit and write. And me personally, I've always been a writer. I've always done poems. Once you read the book, you'll understand that. But I've always written. I've always sat and just wrote something down. How I was feeling, my thoughts. And the way I started this, and this is I'm not gonna say weird, but this is just amazing how it happens. I started writing because my father was in the military, okay, and he was always gone. So I was always writing him to keep him abreast on what I was doing because I wanted him to be proud of me. So I always wrote him letters, and he always wrote me back and how told me how proud he was, and that just encouraged me to write, and write him more. You know, so that's what it was for me. Nowadays that we have internet, we have all these Facebook, all this. People don't write anymore with a pen on paper. They go to the phones, they go to the tablets, they go to the Facebook and computers and all this. That's cool. That's great. That's, evolution. But what's key, if you can just sit and write with a pen on paper and see how refreshing that is to you, you will definitely be reformed. You will be reformed, and you will set that phone or that tablet or that computer down one day, a couple of hours out of the day, and you will write. Believe you me, when I was writing my book, my first book, I used to get so upset when I'm writing and the phone rings. I just started keeping it on silent. You know, at first I was keeping it on vibrate. Then I said, you know what? It's still bothering me because it's vibrating. It's stopping me from my thought. So I put it on silent, or I'll shut it off. So if you're going to be a writer at some point, you know, I'm not saying you have to go pen to paper all the time, because I don't now. I use my phone in my notes section, and I'm writing. Yeah, I'm writing. I'm actually typing. You feel me? And I'm typing. I'm writing a poem, and I may start the poem, and then I'll come back later, but it's right there. Where I can pick up. Like I just said, once you stop somewhere, stop a poem, and you go back and you read it, it brings you back. Bring you back to that moment. It's a review. So it is very key, though, very important to learn to write. Write your thoughts down. You know, and my biggest thing as I was going through counseling, due to a lot of combat missions and a lot of deployments, as I was coming back and getting counseling, my counselor would always say, write it down. Write down how you feel, then tell me about it. She would not, unless I wrote it down, she would not accept that. It was always, did you write it down? And if I had said no, she would go back, write it. So I would submit to you again, to write. It's always good to type, but try writing one time. Put your phone down, put your tablet down, and just write for a second. Okay, try it. You just might like it. Look, ladies and gentlemen, I really appreciate you. I really do. You guys are doing the doggone thing, and I'm proud of you for one. I'm proud of you for coming live on the radio, saying your poem. I'm proud of you sending your messages in and trying to understand how to be better at what you do. By no means am I an expert. I've just been through a lot of situations and real life situations, life or death situations, and things that just change your mind about life in general. And you start to realize what your purpose is. Once you understand what your purpose is, everything else is easy. We'll be right back. WIGO AM 1570, Atlanta's Incredible Radio.